You have to be the identity that you want to be to create the reality that you want to live. This is where I see a lot of people slowing down the process. Is most people, when they're trying to manifest, I'll just say that to keep it easy, when you're trying to manifest living a life that you love, living your dream reality, quantum leap, quantum jump into a reality that you love, most people are so focused on the life that they want to live, on making things how they want, on getting what they want, on finding the perfect person to be with, on finding the dream career, on finding their purpose, on getting the dream body. But none of those things are going to create the identity that you want to be, because your identity is your self-concept. It's your ego. It's the way that you see yourself. So it doesn't matter what you have on the outside. It doesn't matter how you physically look. What matters is how you feel about yourself. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do things to improve your health, to improve your fitness, to have material things that you love. But when we start from the outside in, that isn't going to create the happiness that is going to magnetize to you easily and effortlessly what you truly, truly want at a soul deep level. So you'll constantly be seeking and searching. You'll be in the comments of videos like this saying that these things don't work for you, that you didn't get your special person, specific person, whatever. You didn't find your dream career yet. You don't know your purpose. You don't have a abundant bank account, and you keep doing all of these processes. You're going to sleep visualizing it. Okay. But are you waking up and being the version of you, the identity of you that is going after those dreams, that is living that life, that believes that that is your identity, that you are the person that now has this money that is in your bank account or is coming to you? Are you being the version of you that is a match for your soulmate? Most likely not, if you're focused on the processes and the methods and getting the things that you think that you want, because then you'll be able to be happy and then you'll be able to be who you want to be. It only works the other way. I'm not saying you can't have a level of happiness and success and all those things, but if you truly innately just want to be obsessed with your life, want to live a life that you love waking up to, where you are doing and living as you truly want to, then it starts from the inside out. It starts from creating a self-image, a self-concept, an identity that you want to be. You are always creating your identity and your reality. But for so many of us, we have created these self-concepts and images of who we are based in memories of the past, based in our history, based in our conditioning, based in our trauma and drama, and all of these stories that we tell ourselves that for the most part are not true. Maybe at some point this thing happened to you or was true for you, but that is not you anymore. And you can keep being the identities that you've been. You can keep living in the way that you are if you want to. But if you truly want to live limitlessly as a magnet that is just quantum manifesting whatever you need when you need it to live a life beyond your wildest dreams, you have to be living your life as the version of you that you want to be now, that feels best for you. So, because I talk about this a lot, I felt called to write down just 6 steps for creating an identity shift. The first step is right now, and I'm going to take you quickly through each of these, but I do encourage you to then do this daily, do this longer. Pause me as we go through this process. I want you to really think about each of these, but you have to pause me if you need more time. So the first one is close your eyes if you can and just breathe. Even if you can't close your eyes because you're busy driving or something, just breathe right now. Fully inhaling into your belly, fully exhaling out. Just connecting to this present moment right here and right now. See right now, in this moment, who you are. What right now is your identity? What is your self-concept? How do you see yourself? if you were to write down, and if you can write it down, or just let it come to your mind right now, how would you explain yourself? What would you say your self-image is right now? This is the first step, and it's a really important step, because unless we're clear on where we are now, on who we aren't going to be able to see where the disconnect is between being who we are and being who we ideally want to be. As you look at, as you feel into, as you connect to who you are now, be grateful, be proud, be as happy as you can that you are here, that you are this version of you, because so much work has gone into being this you. There's so much magic and so much miracles, and we need to stop feeling like we are something that needs to be fixed or problem solved. You are not broken. I do understand, because I was there for so long, where in my current reality, I wasn't being who I wanted to be because I had this limited self-concept and these bullshit beliefs about who I was, and this conditioning and these stories I was telling myself daily of the things I needed to do to be worthy of right now loving myself. So you have to see and feel and love yourself right now as you are. And I have a lot of videos on this, and I have a lot more things coming for you guys. So I'm not trying to say that it's always this easy, but I am saying it is this easy. I do understand, though, that sometimes we need to do more deep inner work to really be comfortable with being present. But that is the first step. You need to see who you are now, and to the best ability that you can right now, see that you are not broken and you are not a problem to solve. As long as you see that right now you have problems to fix about yourself, that you have things you need to change, that is the reality and the identity you're going to keep living in. You're going to keep living being this identity of you that needs to fix and solve and change these things about you so that you can be worthy of even moving to the next step. So again, this is all with love and light. There is no judgment in this. I just, whoever this is resonating for, I really want to help give you some guidance and some tips to make this work, because everyone is capable of this. Okay, so now we're clear. We have no problems to fix. We are not broken. We're loving, we're accepting ourselves right now, but see the concept, see the image, maybe even see your resistance to what I'm saying. Okay, now step 2. If you can, close your eyes. If not, that's okay, but just breathe. Fully inhaling through your nose into your belly, fully exhaling through your mouth. And just continuing to breathe as I ask you this. What do you want? Like, what do you truly want? What would you love to experience, to express, to create? And how do you want to feel? Like, how do you want to feel? If ideally you right now could connect into how you want to feel on a daily basis, like just on your average mundane day, but you're living your dream reality. What does that feel like? What does that look like? What does that feel like for you? You can pause me and really go into this, breathe into this, visualize it as much as you want. You can write it out, like write out a list of what your ideal reality looks like. What does it look like for you to be living a life that you love, where you are being who you want to be? How does it feel? The feeling part is really important, because we need to connect into the feeling, to feel into the feeling, to have something to embody into as we go through the next step. So get really clear on what it is that you want to experience, to feel, not what you want to have. Most likely, if you're envisioning, imagining, thinking of a life that you are loving living, where you are your ideal identity, where you feel good living it, most likely there are going to be material things and people and stuff, but those are a byproduct. I want you to go into what truly feels good for you. What does it feel like to live a life that you love? And what are you doing in this life that you love from a feeling state? So pause me if you need more time, but get really clear as you can, but you don't need to overthink it, on what that dream reality and you as the dream you living it feels like. Okay, now step 3, close your eyes again if you can and just breathe. And I really want you to connect into who are you when you're living this reality? Like create an ideal identity, create the identity you want to be. Who are you? What are your values? What are you choosing? What's important to you? What are your non-negotiables? If you need more time for this, if you need to write it down and pause and go into this as clear as you can be in what this version of you that is living a life that you love, like what are their values? What are they doing? What are they choosing? How are they living? See it, feel it, think about it as much as you want to. Get really clear. What does this person make important in their life? Now, see your life right now, the life that you're currently in, the choices that you're making, the things that you are making important, the things you are putting your time, your energy, your attention into. What right now in your life is not aligned with that ideal timeline? What is not aligned? What right now do you need to let go of and clean out? Step 4 is really letting go, cleaning and clearing out what is not a vibrational match for that reality. So what do you know right now you are doing, you are choosing, you have, that you just saw in your dream reality wasn't there? What do you know you need to let go of, to clear out, to clean out, so that you can create space for this dream identity and reality to exist? Because if you keep being the version of you that is doing all the things right now that you know aren't important to you, that you don't have value in, that aren't actually getting you where you want to go, if you don't clean those out, if you keep filling your days with these actions, behaviors, thoughts, beliefs, do you see that you're going to keep getting the reality that you're currently living? Reality is a mirror of our inner state of our thoughts and our beliefs, which are creating our actions and behaviors. So you have to become really clear as to what you need to let go of. And it's just becoming clear. It's seeing what's no longer aligned. And the next step, I will help you in then what we do to really truly let go of that without being in the energy of problem solving and fixing. I just want you to breathe and feel and get really clear, write it out, think about it, visualize it, whatever it is. What you know in your life right now is not a match for that ideal identity and reality that you know you want to be. Pause me and take as long as you want. Close your eyes again, if you can. Either way, just breathe. So now you've seen where you are. You've seen where you want to go. You've seen who you're being. You've seen who you want to be. Now, what right now do you need to do to be that version of you? What does that version of you right here and now want to do, want to create? What does that ideal version of you in this moment with the reality that you are in, what do they want to do? If you could embody being this ideal identity, how would they live your life right now? What would they let go of? What would they create? Because this is the next key of this. This is step 6. So step 5 was being, embodying that identity. And then step 6 is following the frequency, is following the energy, following what your highest self, the divine, your superconscious mind are calling you to create. Because the more that you are here now, embodied in the now, being who you are now, but from a higher perspective, and you're connected to your superconscious mind, and you start to follow through on creating and doing what you want to do, and you follow the high frequency that is coming to you, because the higher consciousness, the higher powers, the infinite, God, source, spirit, speak to you through frequency and energy. So when you're here now, embodied, conscious, present, focused on what it is that you want to do, you will be given the ideas, the creativity, the sparks, the ahas that are leading you to what is here for you at an even higher level, because it is always this or better. But where you may not feel like that is if you've been trapped in feeling like right now you have so much to figure out, so much to fix, so many problems to solve that you can't move beyond now to get to a point where you have the time or the creativity or the confidence to do what you want to do. You're going to keep living in that structure until you have the breakthrough. And I'm hoping, praying that this video gives that to you. I am setting the intention. I am sending this to everyone who is going to get this and live this and start to every day, just every moment. It's just a moment, every moment. And there's a lot of moments you may forget, and that's perfectly fine because they're gone. They don't exist. But every moment that you possibly can, ask yourself who you are and who you want to be. And the more that you start to be who you want to be, the more you start to embody the frequency and the energy that feels best for you, the higher and higher your vibration will rise. And the more you will see yourself manifesting and magnetizing everything that is for you. And you'll start to see your dreams becoming your reality and start to really realize that you truly do get to live a life beyond your wildest dreams, because your dreams are just clues as to how good it gets to be. They're just clues, little breadcrumbs that the divine is feeding to you to try and wake you up, to try and guide you to how good it gets to be, to how free you are. And the more that you do this, so here's a disclaimer, maybe I should have given this at the beginning, but the more that you raise your frequency and the more you start to live as the identity you want to be, you're going to start to see things shift and change around you. And this isn't the universe testing you. This is literally just quantum physics of what's going to happen is that your frequency is rising. You can only receive what you're a vibrational match for. So where things, and maybe you've been doing some of this work and you don't know why you're not getting what you want, or you feel like you're so high and then you're so low. And it's because you aren't anchoring and grounding and rooting into the higher frequencies. We don't get high in frequency and energy and then ground back down into the lower frequencies. That's exhausting. And that's what a lot of people do because they don't want to leave the comfort of what's familiar. And so you can do this as long as you want, but I promise you it's going to feel exhausting. And that's where a lot of people give up. And we just keep seeking and searching for the outside world to create our happiness. But you are the only one that can create your happiness, and it starts in here. And the more that you do this work and you work on your inner state, your reality will be mirrored back to you as a life beyond your wildest dreams. And all of a sudden, you just realize that you're living your dreams, only better. But it happens just like with anything. It takes time and consistency. Anytime you start a new job, you go and you have to start to learn what you're doing and how to do it and where to be and all of these things. And then eventually it's just innate in you and you're just doing it, and you've recoded your instruction manual in some way. And now your unconscious programming is just doing it for you. But there's a training period. And so right now you have to train yourself to be the version of you that lives limitlessly and super consciously. And to live limitlessly, super consciously as the creator and alchemist of your reality, you have to be present in the now, meeting yourself where you're at now and showing up as a version of you that you want to be. As I've said in many videos, in any moment, in any circumstance, in any situation, it is always an opportunity to either be the oldest version of your limited self or the newest version of your limitless self. You're either living unconsciously or super consciously. And the more that you live super consciously right now, the more that you live limitlessly, the more that you trust in the unknown, the easier it will be. And the higher your frequency is going to rise. So this is really important to know, because if you're doing this work and you're reading the books and you're listening to the YouTube videos or podcasts or whatever that are putting you in a higher frequency, you're doing the meditations, you're signing up for the courses, you're going on the retreats, but then in your day-to-day reality, you're still being your old identity. And then you're questioning why you're exhausted, why you're not getting what you want, why it feels so hard for you. That's why, because you're lowering your frequency. You're going back and matching the frequency of your old earth reality. And if you want to live in your limitless new earth 5D reality, if you want to live in heart-based consciousness in the now, trusting in what feels good, You have to choose that. You can't just think about it and do the processes to understand it, and then in your daily life be living in ego-based consciousness and be living in the limitations and the fears and the lack and the not enoughness and the unworthiness. I'm not saying this to bring up any negative feelings. I'm saying this so that hopefully this gives clarity, because this is coming up a lot. Very similar questions of like, why do I feel so exhausted? Or I felt really high yesterday and now I feel low. And this is normal. This is normal, but we can be at a higher frequency and still feel human things. But we are there with love and compassion and presence and understanding, and we're holding space and grace for ourselves to feel as we evolve and expand, or as human things happen that challenge us, but we aren't falling back down into our limitations and our negative self-talk and beliefs. We're just being present with whatever we're feeling, because as you guys should know by now, if you aren't new here, life is going to bump into your blocks and show you where you aren't free. So the higher your frequency rises, it does get easier and easier as things happen in life that trigger and activate you to see that is no longer me. And then that is the opportunity to quantum heal it, where you shift it by seeing, okay, this is how I normally would be, and I'm going to be my true identity, and I'm not going to choose to let that affect me, because we're only ever being triggered and activated by things that we're holding on to. And so if you're holding on to things that are making you feel negatively, you're holding on to that negative belief about yourself. But the more you let go of holding on to negative things that you feel about yourself, the world can't really trigger and activate you the same. It just can't. But your journey through healing all of this is only yours, and I can't even tell you exactly your process, but I can tell you that the more that you live in the present, the more that you live in life as it's happening, instead of being in lower, anchored in lower frequency, feeling limited, feeling lack, feeling not enoughness, feeling unworthy, hoping and dreaming and making vision boards about the life you want to live, and then wondering why you're not getting it. That's why. And the more that you allow yourself to move beyond and to be creating a reality that you love by living it, by being at a higher frequency, doing the meditations, doing the visualizations, doing the things that connect you to these ways of being, to the values, to the things that are important to you truly, innately, at a soul deep level, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between fact and fiction. And it doesn't know if you're imagining something or living it. It doesn't know what's real. It just knows what you continually choose. So if you keep having thoughts and beliefs and taking actions and behaviors that are aligned with your limitations, then that's what it's gonna think you're safe doing. It's what you're surviving. It's what it's gonna keep doing for you. If you flip the switch and you start to live super consciously, and you start to just choose to be the new version of you every day, living in flow, going after your dreams, we're still grounded and anchored and rooted, but we're anchored and rooted in high frequency. We're anchored and rooted in the 5D, in the new earth, in light, in love, in the truth, and not in the limitations. We're anchored in that we are abundance. Everything is abundant. Everything is here for you. And you truly do get to live a life beyond your wildest dreams as soon as you choose to. If you choose to have the belief system that it's hard, it's going to be hard. If you choose the belief system that it's not for you, or you can't truly live how you want to because of X, Y, or Z, that's your reality. Whatever you're consciously aware of in the now, and your beliefs about it, are creating your reality. If you look at what's in front of you and you create a belief that is negative, that is limiting, that is based in lack or fear, that is what is going to be mirrored to you. But if you're currently looking at your situation and you come at it from love and compassion and expansion and excitement and wanting to create a life that you love, then that is what is going to be reflected to you. Am I making sense? I hope so. I hope that these points resonated for you. Let's just go over them one more time. So the first step, see who you are now and be truthful, honest with yourself as to who you are now, as to the image that you have, the identity that you are creating for yourself, because you're the one creating it. Step 2, what you want and why you want it. Like, what is it going to feel like to have that? Getting really clear on the feeling that this dream reality is creating within you and for you. Getting really clear in why you want it, not just, I want a house because that's what my parents think is right for me, but like, what do you truly want? What do you want to feel? What is your dream reality? How does it feel to be living that dream reality? Go on a journey with this of what it's like to be the ideal you, living the ideal reality, and what is it in that that lights you up? What does it feel like for you? Step 3, who are you? Like, who are you truly as you're living that? What is the identity of you that is living that dream reality? What are they choosing? What are their values? What are they doing? How are they spending their time? What are they focused on? So important. Step 4, look at how you just said that you need to be living, that you are living as this ideal identity, and then how you are now. And let go and clean out whatever is not in alignment so that you can create space for whatever comes in. Just like if you think about your house, if you want all new furniture, you're going to have to clear out the clutter in the furniture that's currently in there first. I mean, you don't have to, but then it's just going to be, there's just going to be so much in your house if you don't remove the old to bring in the new. So we need to get really clear on what we need to let go of, what we need to clean out and clear out, and just get clear on that. Because then the next step, you're going to step into embodying and being that identity of you. And then what does that identity of you, that version of you, what do you want to create? What would you love to do? What do you want to create? What are you creating as you're embodying this version of you? And then step 6 is following, now that you're in this embodiment, living as you want to, what is the frequency and energy leading you to do? Following what feels good. We aren't thinking about it, we're feeling it. We're following the frequency and energy. And then, little bonus tip that's really important is when you're then in the frequency, in the energy, following through, receive. You have to be willing to feel worthy to receive what you are then getting. And most likely it's going to be different and better than you even imagined. But you need to be the identity of you that knows you're worthy, that is receiving and living a life beyond your wildest dreams. You have to be the identity first. So imagining, envisioning, seeing yourself living this reality, and then being that version of you, that identity. And the higher your frequency rises, remember that it is so important to continually anchor into the higher frequency. If at any point you aren't feeling good, you aren't feeling aligned, look to what you are doing and choosing in your life, and fill your life with high frequency things. Spend your money on 5D frequency things. Spend your money on things that make you feel good. Spend your time on things that make you feel good. Put in your body what makes you feel good. Now go have fun being who you want to be, and just see where life reveals to you where you're not free, and where the divine guides you to go, to live limitlessly, because you are here to live a life beyond your wildest dreams. If you clicked play and are still listening to me, then this must be resonating at some level. So go and have fun and be who you want to be. Okay, love you.